Bullet hell shooters, the most exclusive of gaming genres. With their own ornate set of rules, mechanics and styles, they have stubbornly remained niche titles for decades. At first glance, Sine Mora may seem like a beautiful but traditional game, next in a long line of throwbacks. But get your hands on a controller and you'll find this downloadable title has more than just hardcore fans in its sights. A collaboration between Hungarian developer and publisher Digital Reality and cult heroes Grasshopper manufacture, Sine Mora is an intriguing mix of European design and Asian styling. Following a resistance movement struggling to overcome a powerful empire, as well as a father seeking revenge for his murdered son, its surprisingly ornate story is told in subtitled Hungarian. On the visual side, this translates to a diesel punk world full of clanking machinery, ornate airships, and typically Japanese blue skies. Together, they make a compelling blend. The darker and more serious elements of the story offset with a playful approach to boss and enemy design. It's a world that draws you in and a story with as much weight as you're willing to give it. But both also refuse to get in the way of the meat of the game, the scrolling and the shooting. Sine Mora may be filled with complex bullet patterns, screen-filling special weapons and all the buzzing bad guys you would expect from a game like R-Type, but its gameplay is uniquely focused around time. Rather than a health bar, you have a timer. For every hit you take, you lose time. When the timer gets to 0, you explode, much like life. But kill an enemy and you claw some time back, prolonging your life a little bit longer. This may sound like a simple idea, but not only does it make the game more forgiving, on normal mode at least, it drives you to play aggressively rather than simply avoiding enemies as they fly by. This simple system leads to last-ditch attempts to salvage time as you try to take out waves of enemies without suffering a single hit. Turn the difficulty up to challenging and soon the timer will constantly be on the brink of running out, driving you to surprising feats of skill. When combined with the score system, you have an arcade experience that manages both depth and simplicity. But in Sine Mora, this depth is not simply reserved for the experts. In fact, the game tries hard to train new players in the ways of scrolling shooters, particularly the slow-down power, which allows seemingly impregnable walls of bullets to be slowed to a snail's pace in order to be navigated safely. This makes pattern learning a simple case of repeat playthroughs, and before long, even new players will be able to skate through those red and blue mazes without even thinking about slowing down. In addition, the game offers a mode where you can go up against any boss with infinite continues and any arrangement of weapons you choose. This merciful mode allows you to practice your techniques without having to slog through a level each time you want to try your luck against the boss. It's these touches that make Sine Mora the most accessible scrolling shooter we've ever played. And the final feather in the game's cap, its graphics. In a way, it's a shame for design of this quality to be constantly covered in a stream of fluorescent bullets, but in the game's quieter moments you will stare open-mouthed as you begin to notice the world around you. This is Grasshopper at their best, touching on references such as Studio Ghibli's beautiful animations and Metal Gear's bizarre military hardware, and yet still managing to infuse the whole thing with its own personality. The soundtrack is equally awesome, with Akira Yamaoka displaying his usual tendency to break away from orchestral nonsense and deliver off-kilter electronica instead. It all adds up to deliver a package that feels infinitely more sophisticated than a downloadable shooter deserves to feel. It's this sophistication that is a key part of Sine Mora. It may play off classic game design, but it also manages to develop and explore the traits of its genre with incredible skill and care. For shooter fans, it's a godsend. And for those yet to enter bullet hell, well, there's no better place to start.